Hello and welcome to the Vintage Modernist. It's a brand new deal, a little experiment, and we're going to see what we see if it gains any traction, or I don't know, maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we'll learn something together. I thought for a long time about this, and thought about does YouTube need some dude in a garage doing this and that? I mean, there's hundreds of those, if not thousands. And the more I thought about it, the answer is yes, because this is America. I mean, you can't have too many choices. So, like I said, we'll see what we see. It'll be a little experiment, and we'll go on about it. So how did I come up with the name Vintage Modernist? I have an affinity for old things, especially old tools. It's not all rainbows and lightning. Some of the old stuff is great and had its purpose, and then some of it is not so great. I have no interest in building a raging wood fire in the middle of August to cook a pot of beans. You know, we have wood, we have electric stoves and gas stoves. We can do that now. Some of it on the tool things, as much as we've gained time and we've been able to produce things quicker, there's been a sacrifice there. Accuracy, quality. So I looked at the mix between the two. You know, what does vintage mean? And it predominantly has to do with wine. You know, when you pick the grapes, the season for that. And also, if you go further in the definition, it comes to a season of a man's life where he's doing his best work. That was his vintage, or her, their vintage work during that period. So I like that. And then, of course, modernist, the new. So we'll cover new stuff, we'll cover old stuff. Maybe we'll have a slight entertainment period at the end of the video, because we're Americans, we gotta be entertained. Then I thought too, do I have time to do this? And it's amazing the people that I talk to that claim, I just don't have time. I don't have time to fiddle with that. I don't have time to mow my own yard. I'm gonna hire that done because I don't have the time. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. My thing is, what are you doing? What are you doing with all this time that keeps you so busy that you don't have time to do basic things? And I'm not dogging anybody, or I'm just saying, you know, never before in history, at least in this country, have we had more modern conveniences that save more time. So we've opened up all this free time, and what have we done with it? We have time to be on Facebook. We have time to watch TV. We have an awful lot of time. What are we doing with it? What are we spending with it? Or where are we spending it at? So I thought, for me, does a guy like me have time to do something like this every day? No. Once a week? I think so. I think we can work it in. And hopefully, as we go here, you know, there's a learning curve. And hopefully we will have the content level a little higher, since I don't have to do them every day. So, like I said, we'll see what we see. So time, I covered that. Covered the name. We're going to do a brief little thing here. We're going to sharpen this garden hoe up. It's gardening season. And I'm thinking about doing a garden for the first time in many years this year. I didn't think I had enough sunlight until I saw a neighbor lady plant a batch of tomatoes and a few other things in a pretty shaded area, and my first thought was, never grow. I was wrong. So if she can grow in the shade, surely I should be able to grow in somewhat less shade. We're going to see. Either way, I need a garden hoe, and bought this thing many years ago for $1 at the China Marts, and it was $1. And I've abused it, and I usually take really good care of my tools. They're expensive, but this was $1, and I thought, tears up, I can put a new handle in or whatever. But so after many years of hitting rocks and mixing mortar on it, not cleaning it up properly, and basically abusing it, I thought this will be our debut episode, or as Jay Berg used to say, our debut episode. So, all right. So we got the hoe chucked up in the vise. We can do this with a wheel grinder, with a hand grinder or a bench grinder, but we're going old school here. So we got a file. It's called a bastard file. There's a coarse file and a heavy file, or a coarse file and a fine file, and this is kind of the in-between. That's why they call it the bastard. You see guys, especially on chainsaw chains, I've seen them just go nuts on them. It's a good way to ruin a chain. You're not getting any sharpening done. The file cuts one way, and you're actually cutting the metal. I'm not an expert at this. I'm actually relatively new to filing. So like I say, I'm not an expert at this. Dollar hoe, not out anything. About a week ago, I took some of the big gouges out of it from hitting rocks and whatnot over the years. Got it chucked up. The file cuts one way. You're trying to keep level. Keep the same angle as you go across. If this were a two-edged thing, like an axe or something, you know, you would count. You would keep a rough track of how many times you did one side, because you have to do the other side and you want both sides equally sharp. But we're not. It's a hoe, and it's a dollar hoe at that. So I just wanted something better than what it was. Something that will cut weeds and cut some roots and whatnot. This is called a file card, and what it does is get the metal plate out of your file. Very simple. Nice part about this, look at there. You don't see that much anymore. Made in the USA. So we would put an edge on that, which we've pretty well done. Then the Lansky sharpening stone. It's a two-sided thing. It's a puck stone, they also call it. There's a coarse side and a fine side. And this is overkill for this, but the nice part about this is you can bring the stone to the work. It's not a big rectangle, awkward thing that you have to have positioned, and it's, you know, you can take the stone to the work. And then of course the fine side. And like I said, it's overkill for a hoe, but this is a nice thing to have. And that's all there is. These are about $6 on Amazon. Your bastard file can be purchased in the big box stores, about $10. They wanted another $10 for the handle, which I thought was obscene, so I'll work without a handle. The file card, I really don't remember. It wasn't much. I think $5. Another Amazon thing. So not much. And it is quite a bit sharp. I mean, if you'd have seen this when I started, it was, you might could have cut some rocks with it. It's in much improved shape over what it was. So now entertainment. Entertainment time, and vintage too. These are basically early versions of the Matchbox car, the little toy cars that kids still play with, you can still get. I don't even remember where I got these, but I like them. I think they're cool. You know, there's no guts in them or anything. And these, I don't know what they cost back in the day. They're just cool. I like them. And think how many of these are in the dirt in America as we speak. That kids just lost and, you know, got buried in the dirt and trampled over all these years, and they're gone forever. But I just think they're cool. I hope you enjoyed the video. Brief as it was, and don't forget to click the thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see what we see as we go forward. Have a good day.